Hello animals, this is Eisen. Today I'm doing a sexuality tag because I mentioned it in a previous video that I wish there was a sexuality tag, and I looked it up and all I could find were videos explaining sexuality, and that's not what the hell I was trying to find, so I made my own sexuality tag. First question. What is your sexuality? I've always said that I'm bisexual. You know, I've liked some chicks in the past, I've liked some guys in the past. It's pretty much entirely guys. It's like 80% men, 20% women. That's the balance of my sexuality. So it's not very interesting to people. I don't have a lot of stories involving women. I like to go by the percentages because that is really where you get the idea that someone is bisexual a lot or not as bisexual. Because there are really people that don't have any preference. And I find that really funny. No preference bisexuals are really cool to hang around because they got tons of stories of who the hell they went out with and what the hell they did with their time with other people. What sexuality do people assume you are? Well, here's the thing. People assume that I'm a guy because I have this voice and this jawline, but the thing is I just transitioned for around 7 or 8 years because I thought I was a trans guy, but I'm not. I'm just a detransition woman. So people tend to just assume I'm a gay man or a bisexual man. I've never had somebody surprised when I talk about liking men. Over here, people don't really care about that. No, I've never met somebody that was annoyed that I was supposedly a gay guy. I've never had somebody just weirded out by that. People want to crack jokes, but they don't really care about it. Do you wish you were another sexuality? I wish I was more interested in women. When it comes down to it, women are cool. I'm just not that into them. I mean, I like boobs. I've touched them. That was pretty cool, I guess, but I like men generally. I just like the way men are. You know, I like the ones that are cute and sweet, but also just kind of rough around the edges. The fine critter with the little waist that smokes cigarettes and maybe kicks stuff. Not in a violent way, but just, you know, he's like, ah. I'm sorry, I'm kind of drunk right now, so things might not come out right. But I am doing all this video to distract myself from being sad that King Cobra JFS died. When did you find out your sexuality? I always knew that I liked guys. It was pretty obvious. There was not a chick I liked until I was in grade 3. And at that point, I don't really know if you can turn yourself into a lesbian. I don't really know how that works. If I focus on it, maybe I will figure out how to turn myself into a lesbian, whether that's permanent. If I just think enough to myself, I will figure out whether to be lesbian or straight or whether that can even be changed at all. Because I didn't know that stuff. People didn't talk about stuff past crushes back then. It was 2008, you know? It was a completely different time. I don't really like how sexuality is presented to children all the time because there are so many celebrities talking about that they like guys and chicks. It doesn't really freaking even matter to teach that on purpose to children. They're just gonna know about it because people talk about celebrities. You don't have to make them try and figure themselves out at such a young age. That's a lot of pressure to put on a child, and they got other things to worry about, like cleaning their rooms and getting rid of stuff. You know, a lot of children do not know that, and I've met a lot of people in their adult age that don't even brush their teeth on the regular, and they don't really even shower or anything. So we can focus on that. We can focus on the basics of life without involving sexuality to children. We can focus on a whole unit of health and grooming and normal things like that without talking about how wonderful it is to figure yourself out, because at the end of the day, it's not important if you figure yourself out at 8 years old. It's not important if you figure yourself at 12 years old. It's important if you actually freaking grow up to be a functional adult, that people actually want to date and people actually find enjoyable to be around. You're supposed to be enjoyable to be around. You're supposed to be able to give love to other people and solve your attachment styles. So if we can teach that to somebody, instead of just, you might be something, and if you are something, that's so wonderful, that's so great. Validation o'clock, dude. I'm not about that. Anyway, do your parents know your sexuality? Of course they do. I was always very open. I've been talking about everything since I was a small child. And then I talked about my crushes too much, and then my dad made fun of me, so I stopped talking about it. And then nobody knew that I liked my crush in grade 4. And he was a hilarious guy. He was freaking awesome. He dressed nice, everything. He was a nice guy. I don't know that they know that I've dated a chick because I didn't tell them that I dated that chick, because she was always a bad option. And they don't know about the last guy I dated either. First crush. The year was 2004. His name was Dawson, and he liked to hit himself in the head and say that he was stupid, and then laugh about it. And we all laughed with him, because he was hilarious. And that's what I went for, comedy. Always the comedy. And then later on, the way a guy dressed. Okay, my ex is threatening to hurt my current boyfriend. That's not normal. That's not a normal text to receive. Okay, dude. Please get on with your life. What sexuality are your partners and friends? On purpose, I go for bisexuals because look at me, listen to me. That is entirely the whole reason. I am not extremely feminine. Sometimes I dress like that, but I'm not out to my parents' detransition yet, so that is all we can do about it. I look like this, I'm in their house right now, but when it comes down to it, I don't put a great amount of effort into looking and sounding the way that I want to because it's cold outside, and I have a decade of men's clothing that I'm wearing, so I'm not about to drop $200 just to do things to my closet that maybe I want, maybe I don't in a year or two. It's not profitable anyway. My friends, I like to hang out with bisexuals too. Entirely my partners have been bisexuals or edge bisexuals. And an edge bisexual is a person who is mostly straight, but the edge of bisexuality is where sometimes you might have thoughts about your own sex, and you're like, you know what, that critter do be kind of fine. If I were to grab a critter, that would be the critter. I like those types because they're not weird about it and they kind of understand. 2 out of 3 of my partners have done gay or lesbian things. One of my partners has only done straight things, but he kissed me on New Year's when I was still a guy. That is kind of gay. I prefer to hang out with bisexuals, but you can't always find them. And, you know, at the end of the day, the really gay ones are kind of sad for certain reasons. When you are around grinder guys, they have problems with the relationships. But it's fair to say maybe that is a horrible way to live. If you're gay, you don't have to be around that BS of the hookup culture. If you're straight, you don't have to do the hookup culture either. You put yourself in the garbage heap expecting less garbage. And I don't know why. Do you have a partner? Yes. He is sweet, and he is wonderful, and he bought me a pair of pants, and he gave me his zip hoodie, which I should be wearing, but it's upstairs right now because I just did the laundry. He is so good to me. He is attracted to me. The other ones were not. The other ones thought I was garbage heap, and they think maybe I should die too, and they spread rumors about me. They say evil things about me and everyone I care about. So why I be with either of them? I love him. That is my man. Are you a virgin? No. September, I would have said yes. But it is now March. I have gotten laid 50 times, if you count everything. The first time I was humping a girl's leg, and it was awesome as hell, and it lasted for 40 minutes. And I loved her. And I was so into her. She put her whole leg up, and it was awesome. Let me tell you, you gotta try that. I don't know if it works on every chick, but it works on fricking detransition women. So if you got an inch, you gotta use it. Please use it. Try that. You're not getting pregnant off of this one. I've done that with everybody I've been with after that. And trust me, it's good. If the critter has worked out legs or fat legs, but if the critter is skinny, it don't work as well. You use the kneecap instead. And I have only 8 bodies, 9 if you count the guy whose leg I humped a week ago. But that's not hugely a sex act. So when I was the first time I had done that, that counted for my body count because that was the first time I'd ever done something like that with anyone. Last question is, are you monogamous? This is a hard question because I love him very much. But he also says that our drives is different. And it's true, they are. I've met guys with way more drives than me, but I'm the one with more in this relationship. And he thinks it's cool and hot when I'm with other guys, and I tell him about it. It's only been 3 times, and the first 2 times I was only humping a guy's leg. It was 2 guys, and I humped their leg. It was awesome. I did in fact trade liquor for it. I traded 3 shots for that. And he thinks it's unfair I do trades. It's not unfair because I get something out of it, and what he gets out of it is liquor. And we all want liquor. We all crave the alcohol. Everyone downtown craves the alcohol. My friends crave the alcohol. So I trade the alcohol to be nice. They will eat all my food. I only bring food for me. So I trade them the alcohol. They can't eat my food, and I tell him about it all. My boyfriend Chase, I tell him all about what I did, and the first time I did that, it was like hours before he was supposed to be in the building. I was just at my friend's house, and I did that stuff because he said it was okay, because we agreed on this. We really talk deep a lot, 5 hours a day at least. He comes to my house at midnight, we go to bed at 5 a.m. It's not a good sleep schedule. I don't like that. We are agreeing now that we are keeping it to 4 a.m. only, because it is a ridiculous time for me to go to bed and get up when he has to go to work at 9 a.m. I like to sleep good, or else I'm pissed off. And I'm in a very bad mood today. Maybe because I don't sleep very much this week, because we've been together a week. But yeah, I tell him these stories about these guys, and he loved to hear it. He's like, yeah, that's hot that you did that stuff that you wanted to do. That's awesome. I'm glad you got to do that with good people, you know? One of them was not so good, so I won't make trades with him anymore. He is just scammer. I bought him a 2.6 recently before me and Chase were together to give him a hickey, and that was not a fair trade. I thought I was getting more out of that because I was told that he wanted to do other stuff with me, but I did agree to get less out of it. That is not a fair trade for a 2.6. That is a stupid thing that I did. But Chase loved to hear the story. Then I did more things with one of the guys, and me and him are great friends, and him and Chase are great friends. They just met, but they know they're both great guys, and he is fine with it. He loves it. He's like, yeah, sometimes I can't be there all the time, and sometimes you are at your friend's house, and there are other guys that are good guys, and you can do that, because always you do protection, and it's fine. But just don't be with the gross guys. And one of the gross guys is my ex anyway. So I don't want to do that because he cheated on me with some gay guys that are very sketchy, and he didn't use protection at all, and that's why I broke up with him. The one rule is you gotta use protection. He was supposed to be at my house, and he's doing this stuff with men that I was gonna be there for to even watch, and then he did drugs without me, and I like watching men do drugs, so let me watch you do drugs. I was so disappointed in him, so that's why I break up with him, because for a whole week he told me he was going to be at my house, and he wasn't. I was extremely upset about that. Why do you lie that you're coming to my house every single day? I hadn't seen him in a month by that point, so I was like, you know what, we're done. I'm going to break up with you in Walmart, and it's going to be embarrassing. So I did. And then he made me get back with him when we were on the bus out of there. Ain't no way, this is stupid, but I was really drunk. So I was like, fine, we'll see if we can squeeze an extra 5 or 10 minutes out of this relationship. And then it all went to hell. Then I yell at him at the beach, and I was really rude, and it was bad time for everyone. Now he is texting me every day, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be with you. Why do you text me like we're going to be together romantically? I have a man. He actually loves me and treats me with respect. He actually has so admiration for me. He looks at me and he's like, I'm distracted. I forgot to get the water that I was going to get. And I'm like, me too, man. I was definitely going to also get water and hit the washroom and other important things that people should do, but I stare at him so much because he's actually interested. It's so nice, but it's also confusing because I've never had someone that interested in me. People only interested in my money and my liquor. What am I doing? The relationship is so new to me. It's been a week and a half, and we know each other so well. I love this man. Yes, entirely. I don't want to make him mad, but my ex keep texting me, "Come here, sniff me, smell how disgusting I smell, and we will hurt each other in the way that you like, and cut each other." And I'm like, animal, 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 we really can't. You are one of the gross ones that he really doesn't like, and I have self-respect. When a man tells me I am beautiful, instead of looking at me and saying about the lipstick that I put on, I said red, not fucking purple. What the hell? And I'm like, this is red. It might have a little purple in it because I made it myself, but it is red, and I'm trying to impress you. But that was the way he was. So really, he is not a good guy. And then he promises to do stuff and then doesn't follow through 5 or 10 minutes later. So why? Without the love and the completely unstable amount of the sex that we were doing, why would I stay with him? Because I can't. He won't get tested after he did that thing. So why would I be with him? But sometimes I like to talk to him because, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. So sometimes it is okay to think a stupid thing like we can talk, but we don't want to do other stuff. Me and Chase, we don't want me to do other stuff with this guy. It's been over. I really break up with him. I didn't do that to anyone like that. Not public and not embarrassing. And then I slapped him because he wouldn't leave my friend's house that he was staying for weeks on end, and he promised rent money and he didn't give it to her. And he came back 4 times that night. And we're like, dude, leave. We kicked you out already. Her mom kicked you out too, so get out. No one knows why he wants to be friends with everyone without doing anything for it. I don't want him to be in my life like that. I want Chase. He's fine as hell and so sweet and nice to me, and everyone agrees that this is the best thing for me. Here he was, the sweetest man, and I don't want to disappoint him ever. This is my creature. That is my creature. Why you think you can make me lose him for talking to me about some stuff that really, who wants? I don't want to be with a man who hurts me, and I don't want to hurt the man I'm with. I love him. So why not just hold off on saying stuff like that? But I'm trying to be really happy in my life. I am improving. I did what needed to be done. And the man is trying to get back again. I told my mom he's not allowed in my house anymore because he's just done too many crimes to people. Rent crime is serious. You don't just scam people rent money and get away with it. I don't want that in my house. My ex, really, how many videos it's going to be about my ex? Because last time I break up, it was a month or 2, I go on about my ex, but I didn't have a relationship yet. And now I have a relationship directly after I break up with my ex. Days after. How did it happen? I am happy, but it's such a sudden change that I don't know if I'm over my ex in that time. And I love my man. I do love my man. I always want to be with my man. I always think about my man. And everyone loved my man. My family loved my man. My coworker loved my man. Everyone, my brother and his girlfriend, we all love him because he is honest and lovely and hurts no one. So we can all just be peaceful. We can all chill out and not send texts about who we're going to fight. Because trust me, I don't want any second to do with that. Please. Tim, do not get a hold of me like that. Your emotional business is not my business. Please fix yourself. I really can't deal with it. Okay? I am not your therapist anymore. If you want me to be your therapist, then we were in a relationship, but we're not. I break up with you. I have a man. He's literally going to be here in 2 hours. 2 hours he will be in my house. I will record a video with him maybe. Tim, I don't want you like that. I don't want you romantically. And I'm not allowed to have romance with other men in any way. Please, please, do I have to pray about it? You are being so crazy. Don't punch walls about that me and Chase are mad at you for what you did. Fix your drywall yourself, okay? Not my problem. Never had to fix drywall because I didn't punch a hole in the wall, okay? We can all just try and be okay. Because I'm being okay. I'm being in love. Please deal with your own situation. Thank you, animals. Have a nice day. We are squeaking.